from that kind of background, then having interested in Buddha Dharma, some of you have interested in Buddha Dharma, and some of you already have taken Buddha Dharma as your spiritual path. I think still it's not too late to ask these two questions. To ask these two questions. Why do I need spirituality? Or if I use this spirituality and religion as a one, or some people, different shade, spirituality and then religion. For example, His Holiness Dalai Lama, one of his recent books, they're called Beyond Religion. There in that book, he makes distinctions, spirituality and the religion, and I thought it's very nice. The explanation have some differences between the spirituality and the religion. But in here, I'm just using as a one, spirituality and the religion. So why do I need? Without the religion, without the spirituality in my life, what things are not complete? What things are lacking in my life? In my life. So I think that question is very important. If we ask this question very sincerely, genuinely, and try to get the answer from your own, the analysis, and then also, the talking to other people, discussing with other people. Why do I need spirituality in my life? When you get the quite clear and convincing answer to that, yes, I need spirituality. Other ways, that my life won't be complete because of this and that and that. When you are convinced by those answers, then the next question is, why Buddhism? Why not? Why don't follow my forefathers, the spirituality, in this case Christianity or Judaism or whatever your parents, your forefathers, had followed? Because environmentally, culturally, socially, that is more easier, than really going to a completely new spiritual, tradition. Many of the concepts are very alien, and many of the terms are, although you may hear, this is English, but I don't understand what he or she is talking about, and so on and so forth. Some of the, such we did, the beginning of the class, some of us made prostrations, very bizarre, strange, gesture, so after, the thinking, yes, it is true, my forefathers' spiritual tradition is Christianity, Judaism, and so on and so forth. But from my mental dispositions, my interest, and some of my deep down questions, the Buddhism addressed better than the others. That doesn't mean Buddhism is better than the other spiritual traditions. Not for you personally, that Buddha Dharma, Buddhist teachings, they address those questions better than the forefathers' spiritual traditions. Therefore, so those are something which I usually ask, particularly to the Westerners, to really, very sincerely, very genuinely, very honestly, and quite thoroughly, to do work on with these two questions. Why I'm saying that, when, as His Holiness Dalai Lama says very often, and I think it is very important that he says, after you have taken a spirituality in your lives, then it is good to have a seriousness in that the path that you have taken. Seriousness in the sense of have a genuine, sincere, wholehearted involvement, not half-half. Not, in Tibetan we have an expression, saying, now, being in the West for a long time, and using this my broken English, most of the conversation with the people, my English is not improving, but what is happening is starting to forget some of the Tibetan expressions, particularly the expressions which are related to this kind of topic. Starting to forget that. So it is saying that as the Tibet is very much, most of the part of the Tibet, not all, most of the part of the Tibet is very mountain area. Very little have a plain, nice, like here we have, and most of the travelings until 1959, or even these days, most of the travelings are done with the riding horses or yaks, and or just simply walking. So this is in that kind of environment. This statement, this Tibetan expression is made, saying a person who is riding horse, and when he or she is riding horse in a plain place, it was completely plain, and then singing a song very relaxed. And when he or she is riding a horse in a very narrow passage up in the mountain, then saying the prayer to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha not to go wrong his riding. So this kind of according to the situation, when the situation is very serious, then thinking about the Dharma. When the situation is very relaxed, then you forget the Dharma. That kind of involvement with the spirituality will not benefit that much. It will not benefit that much. Here, the spirituality, and here when it comes to Buddha Dharma, taking the Buddha Dharma as your spiritual path, then it needs seriousness. Whether life is going very nice, successful, physically healthy, or life is going down, not successful, physically not well, but regardless of the fluctuation of the lives, but be able to hold the path, constantly, continuously, and to have that kind of, continuation, stability, in the spiritual journey, then we need to address these two questions. very honestly, sincerely, and thoroughly. Now, why do I need spirituality? And after that, when that question is addressed convincingly, I need. Otherwise, I'm lacking this and that. Then after that, why do I need the Buddha Dharma? Why not my forefathers' spiritual tradition? And so on and so forth. And then when that question is addressed very properly, very thoroughly, without bias, we have this culture, particularly, the culture itself exists since I think the human culture exists, but the culture or habit. But now, this 21st century, that habit is very, very strong. Culture is very strong. That wanting to change every season our wardrobes, and buy the seasonal clothing, different colors, different design, different all those things. Having that kind of habit, having that kind of culture, if we do the same sort of things to the spirituality, then it will not make that much, it will not give you that much benefits. Of course, it is nice to have to change our the wardrobes, but the spirituality is very much related, connected to our emotion. To our emotion. If you look at say the Christianity, Judaism, Islam, those world major religious traditions, different ways, different terms, different methods, different means, but mainly very much trying to touch to our emotion, deep down emotion. That our emotional lives, to make it stronger, make it to cultivate, to develop more positive, constructive. In that kind of development, emotional cultivation, keep changing is not useful, not helpful. So therefore, very, very useful to address these two questions. As I said, for example, in my case, practicing Buddha Dharma very seriously now, since I was 18, 19 years old, but still I try to ask these two questions every now and then. And that's helpful. That's helpful to take the spiritual path that I'm trying to follow. Be serious. So that's what I'm saying. These two questions. Now, going to our main topic, this subject, the refuge, going for refuge. When you are convinced, yes, I need spirituality, and within the spirituality, Buddha Dharma suits me, for different reasons, this and that.